Hello everyone. In the seemingly peaceful atmosphere, Hang's foster mother suddenly invited the whole family to move into her big house. Her gentle smile but cold eyes made everyone shiver. Was that invitation a sign of concern or a clever trap that had been set? No one knew that a dangerous undercurrent was waiting to explode. The sky was still misty when the first rooster crowed. Sinnhat and her mother quietly walked out of the house. The fields stretched out in front. On Nhat's shoulders were two heavy poles loaded with fertilizer. Her faded pink shirt was wet with cold dew. Each step left marks on the slippery, muddy road. Her mother was thin but walked quickly. Her calloused hands tightly gripped the small rake. Her eyes were strong as if she was used to harsh seasons. When they reached the field, mother and daughter began to work. Nhat bent down, her small hands but quickly spread handfuls of fertilizer onto the rice roots still wet with dew. The pungent smell of fertilizer mixed with the smell of damp soil. But she was still patient, because each grain of fertilizer was hope for the whole crop, the rice to feed her family. Each drop of hot sweat fay. While her hands were working, her mind drifted back to the image of Hang, her husband who had just said goodbye that morning to go to work, after only a few hours apart. Her heart felt strangely empty, remembering his gentle eyes and warm smile. Nhat pursed her lips to hide her sigh. Every time she looked up, she imagined Hang carefully reminding her to save her strength and eat well. Nhat's heart warmed, but also ached with longing. To her, Hang was not only her husband, but also a strong shoulder, the person she wanted to be with for the rest of her life. Early in the morning, when Sinnhat went to the field to fertilize, the foster mother of the police officer Hang also left home with a basket. She went to find bamboo shoots to sell to earn more money. The wet village road stretched out in front of her. Her steps were more determined than usual, as if she had decided to do something different. In the past few days, after many incidents, she had given up the intention of harming Sinnhat. Instead, she chose to go earn money herself, both to support her family and as a way to prove that she could change. However, her obscure past made everyone wary. In the thin mist, her figure gradually disappeared behind the bamboo grove. No one knew that this trip was the beginning of a new phase, where she had to face challenges, prejudices and doubts to regain lost trust. But is this change genuine or just a cover for another plan? Her calculating past makes everyone wary. No one dares to confirm that she has truly returned to the path of goodness. After the morning fertilization, Sinnhat and her mother returned with their shoulder poles, the smell of fertilizer still lingering on their shirts, their hands covered in dirt. As soon as they got home, they washed their hands and feet and then walked quickly to the grocery store to buy fish sauce and salt for lunch. The village road was damp after a night of dew. The sound of footsteps mixed with the sound of the wind whistling through the bamboo rows, carrying a bit of an indescribable chill. Suddenly, from the front, a familiar figure appeared. Policewoman Hang's foster mother was returning from the market. Her face lit up with an unpredictable smile. When she got closer, she stopped, looked straight at Sinnhat and her mother, then spoke in a voice as light as the wind, "You to come over to my house to play for a while." The invitation resounded in the small alley, suddenly making the air thicken. In her eyes, there was something both warm and sparkling with coldness, making Sinnhat's heart tighten slightly. Her mother glanced at her daughter, her heart filled with anxiety. Is this genuine goodwill, or just the prelude to a new game of hidden meaning? Sinnhat and her mother glanced at each other, their eyes filled with hesitation, then finally nodded and followed the policewoman Hang's adoptive mother. The iron gate creaked open, the smell of damp wood and incense rushed in, making Nhat shiver. Just sitting down at the table, not yet having time to take a sip of water, she leaned over, her voice slow but heavy as stone. I want you to move here to live with me." Those words fell like a thunderclap in the quiet room. Nhat's heart tightened. A series of dark memories rushed back. Icy cold eyes, sharp words hidden behind smiles. The suffocating feeling of being strangled, her hands trembled. The glass of water rattled. Her eyes lowered to avoid her gaze. Her mother sat beside her, clearly feeling the waves of tension rising, but remained silent because she knew that a hasty answer could change everything. The air seemed to thicken. Only the ticking of the wall clock remained. The invitation sounded sweet, but in Nhat's eyes, it was a trap set, just waiting for her to step into. A long time later, Sinnhat's mother slowly spoke, her voice calm but filled with caution. "This matter still needs to ask Hang too. Nhat alone cannot decide." The corner of Hang's foster mother's lips slightly curled up. Her eyes flashed with determination. She leaned forward, her voice firm. "I will advise Hang, don't worry." The words sounded like an order, causing Nhat's heart to tighten slightly. Having finished speaking, the foster mother of the police officer, Hang, slowly stood up, gradually approaching, her eyes soft as water but deep and unfathomable. She stretched out her arms to hug Sinnhat, as if wanting to erase all distance. However, Nhat reached out to refuse, his shoulders shaking slightly, his eyes looking away. At that moment, the smile on her lips froze, her gaze darkened slightly. Just a few seconds later, she skillfully hid her emotions, took out from her basket a bundle of crumpled money from selling bamboo shoots this morning, putting it firmly in Nhat's hand. Her voice was slow but heavy as stone. "Take it, buy whatever you want." Nhat clenched the money, his heart pounding, a feeling of unease creeping throughout his body. The atmosphere in the room was so tense that only the ticking of the clock could be heard. To break the awkwardness, Sinnhat's mother suddenly smiled slightly and said, "It's late. My mother and I will take our leave now." The foster mother of the police officer Hang nodded, but her eyes still followed their every step. She slowly followed them to the door, her feet making a soft clacking sound on the tiled floor. When the two of them had just stepped into the yard, she suddenly gave Nhat a jackfruit and said softly, her voice warm but unpredictable, "Bring it home to eat to make the family happy." Sinnhat and his mother returned home. The golden jackfruit was still warm from the hands of the policewoman Hang's foster mother. No one said anything, but both wanted to test how kind it was. So they split the jackfruit open and ate it right away. The sweet aroma spread throughout the kitchen, the sound of the jackfruit peel cracking loudly. While eating, familiar footsteps echoed on the porch. Hang returned, sweat still on her forehead. As soon as he sat down, he heard his mother-in-law recount the whole story of the morning, from the invitation to stay and live together to the jackfruit she brought back. Hang's eyes darkened slightly. Her voice determined, "I won't agree. I'm afraid she'll hurt you again." Sinnhat bowed his head slightly, his heart warmed by her husband's protection. Hang smiled, plucked a golden jackfruit segment, and brought it to his wife's mouth. His voice was strangely gentle. "Eat it. It's very sweet." In the middle of the small kitchen, the scent of jackfruit mixed with sweetness. But somewhere still lurked the worry of an undercurrent that had not completely dissipated.
Sit down.